I'm going to do one last video, and then it's time for me to go to bed, about what did I think about the conversation that Isabel and Aspen had about the stepdad thing. I thought it was totally normal. I thought it was, they're never going to live in a household with him. And so it feels like maybe to a certain degree that stepfather is someone who has some relational role to you, as opposed to like my mom's spouse. Like, he's never going to be really parenting them in the same way that like if they were maybe Truly's age. Although I did think it was funny that Cody was like, well, Truly will never think of him as a stepdad. And I thought, the age difference between where Truly is now and where Dayton was when he married Robin is only a couple years. And they expected Dayton to call him dad immediately. Like they were quizzing the kids before she even married him about like, who is this? This is dad, and who is everyone and everything. So I thought that was a little interesting. But I think that them having an honest conversation about not really thinking of him as stepdad, and they're not sure how they would feel about him, and Maddie's conversation with Hunter about how no matter how happy she is, she's really, really happy for Christine and David, but also there's still a small part of her that's sad about the breakup of the family, I think gives their other comments more weight, because it's not like this sugar-coated, like, yeah, we don't think of him as our stepdad, we think of him as our real dad, and there's no weirdness, and there's no like things to work out, and all of that kind of goes, oh, okay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not explaining this well, but the idea that they were having this honest moment where they're like, oh, I'm not sure if I will think of him as my stepdad, makes it seem like then all of their other feelings I can trust more, because they're being honest with something that I don't necessarily know if it's a negative, but maybe some people can perceive it as a negative. So anyway, I've heard enough other adults who refer to people as like their mother's husband or their father's wife or something. And the thing that they share is they're usually already out of the house at the time. And it was just sort of one of those things of like, this person doesn't have a direct relationship to me that way. It's more about someone who has entered my life and I know them as a person. I don't know. I'm still not explaining it well. But anyway, to me, it doesn't raise any red flags. I think the fact that they're willing to have that conversation honestly makes me think, okay, their other feelings are probably equally as honest. Because if they were just sugarcoating it, they would just be like, no, he's totally my dad. I have no problems whatsoever. I'm super happy the family broke up, and I have no complicated feelings about that. And so the fact that just makes me believe it more. And I thought the whole thing was super sweet, and I cried. I cried more than Robin has in 18 seasons, with an actual tear trickling down my face, just because I thought it was sweet. I thought the whole episode was really sweet.